Yo, what's up? I'm Owen, if you didn't already know that. You're probably watching this video because you want to make a Sabine deck, or you're just watching my videos to watch my videos. And that's perfectly fine. I'm going to be teaching you how to make a Green Sabine deck. If you don't know what that is, it's in Star Wars Unlimited. You pick a leader, which is one of the Star Wars characters. Sorry, the glare, oh my gosh. There we go. Sabine. If you didn't know, she's from Rebels. And a base. This will not be a tutorial on how to play the game, it'll be a tutorial on how to make this deck. Because I prefer to not tell you how to play the game yet. That's a video for the future. I don't know. I might make a video like that in the future. Do you guys want a video like that in the future? Because if you do, I will 100% make a video of that. Because I want to promote this game, because it's awesome. Alright, let's start off with the basics of this deck. What you need is your Sabine. I'd recommend having a hyperspace one. It's not going to be in that, though. You would need a deck pod to have it in this. I would highly recommend getting a deck pod, though. Probably red or green for this deck, of course, because it's a Green Sabine. Then, with your base, you can do Energy Conversion Lab. I would not recommend it, especially for an aggro deck like this. I would recommend this Command Center. It's literally a nothing. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything special. It's just a base, which I like, especially because it has 30 HP and not 25. Plus, I didn't really use the Energy Conversion Lab with this deck because I didn't know when to use it. I didn't have any crazy units. My best unit is Gorilla Attack Pod, and that comes in later for an aggro deck. Because usually, after, like, 6 resources, that's near the end of the game for an aggro deck. Not for almost any other kind of deck. Control deck, that's just the beginning, man. That's only half of it. For a control deck, you can get up to, like, 15, and that'll still be, like, normal. It's crazy. I'm actually working on an item deck. If you have any recommendations for that, I would love to hear them, because I'm working on item yellow deck right now. So, have any recommendations? I would love to hear them. So, base and leader, of course. Yeah, I'd recommend having a nice looking one, like this hyper one. I don't know if you can see that very well. There you go. This hyper Sabine, it looks pretty nice in my opinion, especially in this. That's why I'd recommend getting a deck pod. Street-wide deck pod is also another more reasons that a deck pod is good. I can just show you right now. So if you haven't been playing Star Wars for a while, you'll even if you haven't been playing for a while, you'll know you should use dice to take damage. That's with almost any game like this. I would prefer to not use like the little cardboard tokens. They're blah. But you will need a token for something else, initiative. And those are usually cardboard of what people have, but you can use basically anything for an initiative token that is small and flat. I got this from a tournament, Store Showdown. Everybody got one of these who went to the Store Showdown. I got absolutely destroyed in it. I'm mediocre at Star Wars Unlimited. It's because aggro decks, if you know how to play them, they can be really good, and they can be really trash, and they can be mediocre. So, I know how to play Sabine pretty well. Like, I almost know this deck in and out. But, I notice that it's not great, especially against control decks like Iden. Iden is Sabine's worst enemy. And probably the Inquisitor, even though most people don't play the Inquisitor. So, let me get out my first recommendation. Yes. Spec Force Soldiers. They are pretty great, especially when there's a Sentinel out. They're cheap, so you can throw them out first phase. They're overall pretty good. They're not gonna be great, but they're just mediocre. They're pretty good when there's a Sentinel out, though. Like if they throw out, I don't know, like an Echo-based defender. I have one of those in this deck, by the way. it'll just take off the Sentinel from it. It'd be a jerk and just take its Sentinel. So that's pretty nice. That's just the beginning. That's the cheapest one. All of these are around 2 to 3 price range. I have a few that are more than that. 2, 3, it's mostly it. I have some 4s and 5s and a few 6s, but generally it's usually 2s and 3s. So, next one, Sabines. You're like, but wait, you're playing a Sabine. Like, if you're a noob, you haven't played before, you're like, wait, you're playing a Sabine. How can you throw out a Sabine? It's a different card. You can still have Sabine thrown out there, even if one of these is out. They have that star next to them. If you somehow don't know, that means you can't have another one out, because they're a main character. Like, there's only one of them. You can't have more than one of them out on the field. Let me get the other one to show how many you should have for your deck, which is 100% 3. And you're probably going to say, but Owen, why do they look different? These two are the organized play ones. When you go to play at a store, they will give you a pack when you start. You'll pay $10 to play with other people. They'll give you a pack when you start. And this pack will have 3 cards. And they're not the same as the other cards. They're special. But they'll be the same as the other ones, but they'll look different. They'll have different art. And they will... It looks like full art. It's not really full art, but they just look different. They're special. And there's only 20 of them. So when you get the organized play ones, you're not really too excited. I'm not usually too excited when I open them. I'm just like, yo, let's see if I get anything that's mediocre. Alright. Sabines, pretty good. Especially how they will do a damage to base. So if you're already attacking on base, it's an instant 3 damage. Let me see. Get some Alliance X-Wings out here, man. Alliance X-Wing. Just an X-Wing, man. It's nothing special. Nothing special. And that's what makes it good. It's just a nothing. It's a nothing. It doesn't do anything, but it's a 2/3, which isn't that bad, and the cost is 2, so like, it's not bad. I think I only have 2 in this deck. I may correct myself later. Yeah, I believe I only have 2 in this deck. There will be more X-Wings later, a lot of X-Wings. Yeah, so 2/3, not bad, especially for paying 2. Alright, let's get another 2 out here. So many 2s. Okay. Green Squadron A-Ring. A-Ring. It's got Raid 2, which is very good on a thing that costs 2. I really like the Green Squadron A-Ring. I have 3 in this deck. They are pretty good, especially during the first phase. It's great, because then the second phase, you have almost a guaranteed 3 damage on their base, or for some reason if you want to take out their units, but that's usually not a thing for aggro decks like Sabine. Alrighty, let's get another 2 cost out here. Battlefield Marines. Pretty generic, normal. Everybody's seen a Battlefield Marine here. They don't do anything, just like the X-Wings. Nothing special. They just attack. That's all they're made for. 3 of those, of course. Because they are not bad. A 3/3 for a cost of 2. Pretty good. Let's see. I think I'm done with the 2s, am I? Oh no. Rebel Pathfinders. Half the time I will resource these, I'm gonna be honest. Do I have more than 1? I think I only have 1. Yeah, they're meh, in my opinion. The only good thing about them is the Saboteur, but they still only do 2 damage. So, they're meh. I only have 1. So, I actually got this deck off the internet, but then I edited it a lot. Like, a lot. Okay, I think we're getting into the 3 range, and we're gonna go to one of my favorite cards in this deck, Red 3. Red 3 is just amazing. It's awesome. It is a rare. Can't always be sure if they're rare or legendary. I believe they're rare. They are great. They'll give raid 1 to other friendly rebel units, and they have raid 1, so it's cost 3 for 3/3. So pretty good. Like, it's not bad, and it helps your other units. And in this deck, it's all rebel units, everything. And I'll explain why in this next one. The Beast. This one's rare too, for a cause I believe in. I have 3 of these. They are beautiful. I've won so many games with these. They're just the best. Like, they're the best things ever. So, what you do with them, if you haven't already read it, what you do is when you play it, you look at the top 4 cards of your deck. If they are rebel, each one that's rebel will do 1 damage to base. And if you have all rebel in your deck, that's a guaranteed 4 damage. And you can do it 3 times if you get through your whole deck, which I doubt. So, it's beautiful. They're just the best. They are rare though too, so this deck, well, they're not that hard to find. They're just a little pricey for a card, for a literal piece of stiff paper, but they're pretty good. Wing Leader. These are also very good. They give another rebel unit experience tokens. It's just awesome. If you don't know what an experience token is, I'll show it in a second when I find the other one, if I have another one. Yes, there it is. I was almost certain that I had another, but I was like, Yes, so let me get some experience tokens. So, it'll give 2 of these on a unit, and it's +1/+1. So it adds +1 to their health. I almost said shield. These are shields. +1 to their health, and +1 to their attack, which is beautiful. So they're pretty good. They only have 1 health, though, which is just special. Echo-based defender. It's exactly what it looks like. A 4/3 that's a sentinel. It's pretty great, especially in like the 2nd phase. Just throw this out. It's nice. 3 of these as well. 3 of a lot of cards in this deck. They're great, like, especially because it's cost 3 and they do 4 damage. Because aggro decks are all about damage. Like, there's no defense almost. Like, you're barely defending yourself. You're just boom, 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 attacking them. Just whacked that. Yeah, so 3 echo-based defenders. Very nice. Let's get another one that's cost 3. Ah, yes. One of my favorites. Say that to a lot of cards in this deck, because this is a really good deck. I love playing this deck. It doesn't always win, but it's fun to play. So, these are great. They cost 3, do 3/3. But, when played, you attack with a rebel unit. Well, obviously. You attack with a unit, and if it's a rebel, it gets +2 attack, which is beautiful, man. You can throw out an echo-based defender. So, if you have an echo-based defender out, throw this down. Boom. That's 6 damage. It's beautiful. It's the best. This deck is just beautifully mean. It's awesome. Okay, some more cost 3s. Fighters for Freedom. Not the craziest, but they're pretty good. Get the other one down. So, they got Saboteur, which is awesome. And when another red card is played, you deal 1 damage to their base, so it's pretty good. And it's got 4 health for a cost of 3, so that's pretty good. It's not like a wing leader. Cost 3, has 1 health. Yeah, so these are pretty good. Gotta have 3 of them, of course. Alrighty, are we getting into the 4 costs? No, Admiral Akbar. Meh. Not for this deck, just 1. I'm planning on swapping him out. He's just not really made for an aggro deck. He's got Restore 1, you don't really need that. What's the other one? It deal damage to a unit equal to the number of units you control. Okay, so that's It's okay, like, it's got Restore 1, which can help an aggro deck, but not really. Aggro decks are more about boom, 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 do damage to the other side, don't care about ours. Let's see. Is that it with the cost 3s? Alrighty. Now we're on to literally my favorite card. K2. Not just because he's an awesome character, but because of what he does. It's just so great. He's a 4/4. He's got Overwhelm, which is just awesome. And, when defeated, do 3 damage to the opponent's base, or, I don't even care about the other one half the time, I don't get that. Discard, or if that player discards a card from their hand, like, usually I do 3 to their base. Like, that's probably the best way to go for an aggro deck. If this wasn't an aggro deck, you'd probably do the discard from their hand, if it was like a control deck or something. But a pretty good one. Also rare. Alrighty, what other cost 4s are there? Ah, yes. Such a good one. Bright Hope. It's a Sentinel. A Space Sentinel, too. There's not many Space Sentinels. And it's a 2/6 for the cost of 4. The 6 part is just mean. It's a Sentinel with 6 health that costs 4. It's so mean, man. So mean. It's pretty good. I really like playing Bright Hopes, especially when I'm in a tricky situation. Like, they have a bunch of space units. They've killed a bunch of my space units. I can just throw this out and they're cooked. At least it's enough to stall them for a bit, which is more than enough to give yourself some time to attack them a bit. Now we're on to cost 5s. Zeb. Very important one in this deck. It's awesome. This one's good when you want to do a lot of damage to their base. But also, when you finish an attack, like on their base, you can deal 4 damage to a ground unit. So, like, after you do 5 damage to your base, you kill one of their ground units, which is beautiful. It's awesome. You do need 3 of these, though, and they're mediocre to find. Like, they're not as easy as, like, the A-Wings or the Alliance X-Wings, but they're meh. Okay, Snowspeeder. I only have 1 of these. It's a little weird, I know. But they're pretty good. They got Ambush, which is just great. You love Ambush on something. And then you can exhaust a vehicle unit after you attack. So, nice, right? And it can be an enemy vehicle unit, so it can be any vehicle, which is awesome. If they throw out the Devastator, exhaust it. If they throw out an AT-AT, exhaust it. It's pretty great. Alrighty. Now we're on to cost 6s. Only 3 cost 6s, because they are expensive. And that's not what an aggro deck is made for. I love the Gorilla Attack Pods. They're awesome, especially because they have grit. Like, people would be like, oh, I can just throw this unit into it, and I'll take out half of it. Well, now it does 7 damage on your base, bro. Like, it's just awesome. My sister made that mistake one time. I was playing against her. She has a Hera deck. Maybe I can make a video about that, but I don't know. If you want me to, I will. But these are great, especially when they have a bunch of units that do a ton of just unit damage. Like, they are made to hurt units, similar to a Zeb. Like, if they attack with a Zeb on your base, and then they do 4 damage on this, game over, bro. That's 8 damage from cost 6, which is awesome. And then I saved one of the best for last. Honestly, I just forgot to do it with the ones, but it's pretty good. Rebel Assault. They're really common, they're really cheap. Can't play it in the first 1 or 2 phases, obviously, but these are beautiful. You attack with 2 rebel units, which is all our units in this deck, and gets +1, +0, of course. Why would you need a +1 when attacking? Well, I mean, attacking a unit, but not with an aggro deck usually. Unless there's a sentinel. But this is great. I love when I pull these, like the 3rd or 4th phase. Perfect. Or whenever, honestly. Like, it's great to pull these whenever. So, that's it on how to make this deck. Tell me in the comments if you want me to make more videos like this about Star Wars Unlimited. I've already made one other video like this of me opening packs. But tell me if you want it. Like, tell me if those sound interesting to you. I'm going to have to reshuffle these a lot now, but another thing, when having a deck, especially a nice one like this that you would probably use all the time, get a deck pod. They're just awesome. And they have a compartment for all your tokens and dice. It's just great. Well, again, tell me in the comments if you want to see more Star Wars Unlimited videos, and I'll see you in the next one.